Evan Macklin back with pro tips, guys. This episode is going to teach you how to become a high performance leader. I was not factory installed with leadership at all. I've been a high performing salesperson most of my career. There's a lot of things that you don't know about leadership unless somebody tells you who's actually living it. So as I graduate into my next level in the Elliott Group and I became one of the leaders in this company that's helped grow and build our culture, our systems, our processes, our training, as we grow and as I continue to scale, I've broken down some of the most powerful tips that I know in coaching some powerful executives all around the country and seeing how some of these people have built these incredible teams and then also showing you how we built our team. So here is an inside look to you becoming the leader that you know is inside of you, but it's probably not installed inside of you unless you're like some general, one of these famous generals or something. But I believe that they try it really hard on leadership too. So there's two skills that you got to know in life: sales and leadership. Some of us have mastered sales. It's time to go to leadership. Some of us are in leadership, but we haven't mastered it, and we're starting to realize that sales was easy and leadership is hard. I'm going to break it down for you on how you become a high performance leadership. There's three phases that you got to understand. Phase number one is self-leadership. Listen, nobody in the world wants to do business or follow a leader who's a freaking hypocrite, okay? So if you're going to be a badass leader, you're going to have to do the things that you want your people to do. So do you do the things that you expect of others? Write this down. Like, do I do the things that I expect of others? If I want my sales team to be fired up, to have good energy, to be taking good care of themselves, taking good care of their families, if I want them to have good customer service, do you know where that starts? Internally with you. If you want your external experience to be good, it's going to start internally with you being that person, okay? I don't know why I just jumped up like that. I just got freaking excited. But it's the truth. Do you do the things you expect of others? Are you congruent to the person you expect them to be? Are you rolling in congruency with the person you want them to be? I can walk into any dealership, any business in the freaking world, and I can tell what the general manager, the owner, the partner is going to sound like, talk like, walk like, if he's going to be a complainer, if he's going to be in good shape. I can tell. You want to know why? Because his sales team emulates him unconsciously. They wear the same things. They talk the same way. They have the same beliefs and mindsets and habits. You have to be congruent with the person that you want them to become. So a lot of us leaders need to do some self-reflecting here. And by the way, if your title is not that you're a leader in your business, let me make this clear to you. You're a leader for the world. You're a leader for the person next to you. There's people that are looking up to you, whether that be your kids, whether that be your nephews. There's people that are looking up for you. But also, do you want to become a badass leader in your business one day? Let's start working as the person that we want to become. Let's start adopting that role. Let's start adopting that personality. Let's be congruent with the person that we want to become. Okay, so are we the physical, mental, emotional embodiment that they need to see? This is critical. I see a lot of leaders that are very emotional. They make decisions emotionally. They're easily triggered. There's a lot of things that I can tell that if their salespeople did the same thing as they did, they wouldn't like that. Okay, but they're learning from you. So you need to ask yourself, are we the physical, mental, emotional embodiment that they need to see? Most of you guys are watching this because you really believe in Andy Elliott. If you see our team, if you see the way that our team runs, we run very similar. We run like the leader. And what you'll notice about most companies is the salespeople will run 50 to 80% as hard as the leader. By the way, Andy, I'm not running 80%. I'm coming for your ass. I'm at like 90 right now. But it's hard to catch the big guy, dude. He runs hard. He charges hard. He cares more than everybody else. He's the first one here. He's the last one out. Like, Andy Elliott is a true leader. He's actually on the ground doing the stuff that we would do. You know, and he does the same thing with his families. He's the embodiment. He's in congruency. So that's why all of our people will literally run through a wall for him. If people won't run through a wall for you, it's because you're probably a hypocrite and you got to go look in the mirror and ask yourself if this is you. Okay, so this is a good wake-up call. But us winners, what we do with wake-up calls, we look in the mirror and we're like, hell yeah, that's exactly what I needed. Now I'm going to go become that person. Okay, so I wrote a couple of these things down. Health, fitness, are you decisive? Are you good at problem solving, waking up early, great attitude, incredible energy, on time, initiator, standard setter, overcomer, you never quit, you're loving, you recreate daily, you set deadlines and you hit them. Think about all these things that I just said. Think about them. I mean, I can point out several that I see that are a problem all around the world with people that want fired up sales teams. Well, number one, a lot of them aren't healthy and they're not into fitness, but they want their guys to have good energy. A lot of them aren't decisive. You tell them that there's something good for them, or this is going on, or this problem in the business, and they can't make a decision fast enough. They have to go out and get a bunch of other people to help them make a decision. That's not being a leader. A leader makes a decision and goes after it, okay? Problem solving. Are you getting up early? Do you have a great attitude? Great attitude, man. Your team, even if they weren't the most skilled salespeople in the world, if they had a great attitude, it would forgive their lack of skill. But you need to ask yourself, are you doing these things? Are you setting deadlines and hitting them on time? Okay, self-leadership equals self-discipline. Be the person you were meant to be. Be the leader that you were meant to be. It's gonna take a lot of self-discipline. Here's a reality check. If you're a 6 or a 7 leader, you will never recruit high-level 8, 9s, or 10 team members. They can sense that you suck. Your level of success in life and business is capped based on your level of leadership. So leaders out there, are you a 6 or a 7 leader and you're hoping to get 8 or 9 and 10 players on your team? Doesn't work that way. If you want to get the high rollers, if you want to get the freaking stallions, they're not going to run with turkeys. Have you ever seen stallions running across the plain and you see a bunch of turkeys at their feet? No. In the Elliott group, you're going to see a lot of stallions, all stallions. Because we don't run with turkeys. Because our leader's not a turkey. So you have to look at yourself and say, hey, am I a turkey leader? Okay, you need to become a stallion if you want to recruit stallions. Number 2, the level 2. There's always 3 phases of leadership. Now that you've accomplished level 1, now that you're the best self-leader in the world and you're looking at yourself and you're like, I am that guy. I'm that dude. If that's you, now you can go lead others. You need to have a clear vision of what you need them to do. So what that could mean is, listen, you know exactly what your target is, you know exactly what your goal is, you know exactly what the revenue target is for the day, and you're casting your vision on where these people could go inside of your company. Most leaders I can see, they're not good at selling their people on going to the next level. They were good salespeople once, but they're no longer selling their people on where the company's going a year from now, 2 years from now, where this person's career is going to go if they work hard today. You got to figure out what the dreams are of your people and then sell them the dream that aligns and congruent with the business. And that's how you make better salespeople, but you have to sell them that dream. Remember, leaders, you're still salespeople. Go sell your team on go to the next level, okay? When do you want it by? Are you clear on these things? A lot of leaders aren't clear on when they want it by. I remember at times in the Elliott group, we're like, we want to take over the world. And we're like, by when? We're like, we don't know. You know, it's like when Andy started setting 90-day goals, 30-day targets, 60-day targets, hour-long targets, like there's goals in our office that are, hey, in an hour, here's what we're going to do. In 2 hours, here's what we're going to do. By the end of the day, we have a target today. By the end of the day, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. Do you have those targets for your people, and are you clear? Now you have a definitive number and goal that you can attack. They have to have that. They have to have clarity. Reality check. The fastest way to lose respect from your team is to be indecisive and have double standards. The truth of the matter is most leaders, and the problem in the world today is there's double standards for everything. The leaders on the other end of this, I'm challenging you to create a hard line on who you're going to be and who you want to be. And if you can do that, then you can go lead others. Then that leads to phase 3, leaders building other leaders. It's really simple. If you're a badass and you've trained a couple more people, now you can start to build more leaders around you. And the reality is if you do this, if you don't do this, you can never multiply your impact or your income. You can never multiply your impact or your income if you don't go learn leadership. So those of you that are not yet leaders, like we talked about earlier in the video, it's about you working on becoming that version of you so you can shift the culture in your company. My brother and I, at one point, we weren't anybody special inside of our dealership. So what we did was we became the best salespeople we could. We became the best with our morning habits, best with our fitness. We became the best versions of ourselves. And as we did that, we started to shift the culture one by one in our dealership. All of a sudden, we looked up and salespeople increased everything in the store. You can do that on the other end of this. Okay, if you're a leader in the store, you don't just go out and just tell everybody what to go do. You go out and totally recreate. And then you can continue to shift your culture by then being that person. So if you want to become a badass leader for your family, for the people around you, you want to become a high performance leader, take these tips and go out and change yourself first, and then you can change other people. That's the key to leadership.